could send you something explicit? So this guy thought that after everything that's happened, that you know what was gonna save the day? It was gonna be a dick pic. This is what happens when a guy spent 7 years pretending to be a girl's friend, finally makes a move, and gets rejected. You're about to see one of the most insane nice guy meltdowns I've ever seen. And the wild part is, this actually starts off pretty normal, which is what makes the ending so crazy. Now, let's start off by taking a look at where the saga first began. So, the girl's on the right, the guy's on the left, and this is already many years into their friendship. She messages him, "Hey, I appreciate the memes. I never wanted to stop being friends, but you were starting to get a little hostile with me in the end, and I started getting hostile with you, and it sucked. Then after those messages you sent a while back, I felt weird because I always considered you a close friend since I met you years ago. But by your message, sounds like you were just always kind of waiting around for me to date you. I never felt that way. I think we could be friends again, but I don't want you to be in that headspace anymore." So aside from this guy taking a horrible strategy of just basically pretending to be her friend so he could ultimately date her, he's also going to keep making the same mistake over and over again. And the scary part is, a lot of guys are making this mistake without even realizing it until it's too late. So he responds with, "I certainly have my head on backwards, but as my friend, I really think you're fucking adorable, and every trip I've taken with you is so fucking precious." Can you guys figure out what this mistake already is? I've heard of a Japanese word, and this just kind of starts going on about him just rambling. He says, "I still just want to enjoy your company because I think you make me really fucking happy as a person when I'm spending time with you, but sometimes it feels like my chivalrous interest with you is just underappreciated or just unappreciated sometimes. I can understand it can be inappropriate when I need to realize you're such an individual. There's just so much stuff about myself that I've had to go through my head because of acid and the time we spent together as friends, and being your friend has always just felt so fucking important." Now, this guy is talking about being her friend while at the same time in the same message like basically professing his love to her, right? So if he does actually want to be her friend, then there's no point in doing that, but clearly he does not. Like clearly he wants to date this girl, so there's no point talking about being her friend. There's no point simping. There's no point like talking about all the time she made him happy. Clearly she doesn't reciprocate the feeling. At this point he should just be like, "Yeah, look, honestly I think you're quite cute and I want to see, we should grab a drink and see where things go." That's it. But this guy just keeps going. I've gotten over a lot of pain, I've emotionally matured and stuff, and I'm definitely more of my own person since 2021, qualifying. That being said, that when I'm with you, there's such a beautiful stillness. I don't really experience that with anyone else I know. Again, he's putting the girl on a massive pedestal. I just play our friendship really close to the chest for probably wrong reasons. There's a good chance you probably don't have much interest in me as an individual in general, but there's something about you that just overwhelms me with an appreciation and gratitude for life. Like literally the level of putting her on a pedestal is about 15 out of 10. I'll dial it down, but you still made my life beautiful and you still make it beautiful. Underappreciated or just undervalued. Could you like one of these so I don't feel crazy? And then he's seeking her validation. So the mistake he's gonna figure out is massive neediness. This guy is so needy for her affection, and this is just gonna get worse and worse. She says, "You're not crazy, I just need some time to think," which basically means, I don't know what to say to this like crazy fucking confession you just gave me, right? And so this guy sends her, I guess, something, she says yes, and then he's like, "Was there a response for that whole book I wrote you?" So she's like, "I said I didn't time to think about it. I just want some of my feelings to acknowledge as your friend, and after all this time, I really don't know where I stand as a friend in your life. I'm lost as I am vigorously interested." I mean, you don't say, buddy. I mean, she pretty clearly told you where you stand. I'd just like to know how you really feel about the extent of me being your friend. Again, he keeps doing this sneaky nice guy thing where he's like, yeah, friends, but can I fuck you? Can I see you naked? Can I see some boobs and vagine? Right? This is like a very sneaky, underhand, nice guy technique that just girls just get instantly repulsed by. So let's just keep going. And then he just keeps being needy. He's like, please, let me find favor in your eyes. Sending her like a photo, daydream with me, right? Extremely needy, which is just such a massive turnoff for women. Didn't we like have a year-long snap streak? She's like, "I obviously care about you, and like I said, never wanted to stop being your friend. I've been months since we talked, and back that message you sent me a while back was a lot to process. I do think we can be friends again, but I'm asking as your friend to give me some time to think things over, i.e., I am not interested. You are way too needy and sort of pathetic, sir. I've been going through a lot and I'm not in the headspace to fully articulate how I'm feeling right now. I also worry that us being friends again is going to just be waiting around for me to want to date you, and I just don't feel that way. I'm having a hard time understanding these messages since you're talking about us being friends again, but then sounding like you're still wanting more. You're not crazy and your feelings are valid, but so are mine, so I just need some time. Again, she's very clearly saying she's not interested. At this point, the only thing you can do is just give up. Post cool things to Instagram, show that you have a high value lifestyle, maybe try again 2 or 3 years later without any of the neediness or, you know, just kind of the weird simping type of shit, right? But this guy just keeps going. You're valid. I never really heard the extent of why I'm your friend. I could tell you all day why you're my friend. Your voice is fucking music. Imagine saying that to like your best bud, like, yo, John, by the way, your voice is just like fucking music. Like, that's not something you say to a friend. Not even something I would say to my girlfriend because it's corny as hell. I think you're brilliant, just a brilliant person to be around. I really wish I could hug you. Fuck, this hurts. Again, to this girl, like, she needs to stop entertaining this guy because she clearly knows, like, she's like, I'm concerned. It's very obvious this guy is not going to be able to be just friends with you, and you should just cut him off, you know, for his sake and for your own sake. I need time to think, and I will reach out to you when I'm ready and know what I want to say about all this. And he's like, okay. Then he's like, I'm ready when you are. Then he says, that was supposed to sound more upbeat than that. Then she doesn't respond. He says, sleep well, good night. She just says good night. And then it finally happens. So, like, is there any chance as your friend I could send you something explicit? So this guy thought that after everything that's happened, that you know what was going to save the day? It was going to be a dick pic. So she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, not safe for work. She's like, are you trying to make a joke right now? He's like, no, kind of a gamble. And this just keeps going on this for like 2 or 3 screenshots where this girl's just confused about like, is this guy trying to send me a dick pic? And honestly, it's like very straightforward. Yes, this guy is. He's basically like saw his first Andrew Tate video, so he's going balls to the wall. He's like, all right, you know what? The nice guy thing isn't gonna work, so I'm just gonna try something really, really crazy. Not saying that sending a dick pic is a good idea either way, but especially if you've been put in the nice guy category, which he certainly has, and you try to do anything that's even remotely sexual, the girl's gonna be like, get back in your little nice guy box, right? She's gonna be almost like disgusted, right? By basically a super beta guy trying to act in a sexual manner, right? So yeah, anyway, so this kind of just keeps going about her just basically in denial that he wanted to send her a dick pic. And then finally, this is kind of where things pick up. I'm getting up early and going to work, okay? I just need to share with you how I feel. And she's like, what does this have anything to do with you sending me an explicit image? Pretending and holding back is so last season. And then here she just kind of lets him have it, right? She kind of goes off. If telling me how you feel about me is necessary for you, then it's fine. I still don't see how this correlates with your original question. Also, you have to respect the way I feel because I'm not pretending when I tell you that I just don't see you that way. And then she just sends him a fucking essay. You're sending me weird messages, calling me your friend, but talking about me in a romantic way. I understand that you have feelings for me, but you're going about this in the way that is not bringing us any closer as friends. Sweetheart, he's not trying to be your friend. He never did in the first place. Then having you ask me something like that is so weird. Like after our conversation last night, you really decided to shoot your shot like that when I told you multiple times I'm not into you like that and I need some space? Come on, man. I always thought you were a really cool and caring person. That's why we were friends for so long. It all sucked when you went all incel on me towards the end. And this line really sets him off. He says, I respect that. Also, if I'm an incel, you're toxic, so let's not name call. What's that even in your argument that I can't get someone? I can. You choose not to. That's fair, but you don't get to call me an incel because you decline. You go out of your way to say it. Why is that? Label me anything else, like for real. It's foolish for you to argue something like that. And you know what the kind of person that would get this triggered by being called an incel? An incel. Clearly this guy does not have many options in his life. He's probably a virgin or something very close to it. And yeah, it's interesting that out of everything he said, that's like the one thing that he's responding to. So anyway, so here she's just confused. She's like, I never said you can't get someone. What do you mean? I was saying I'm in a relationship, so you asking to sex me was inappropriate. And here he decides to go one step further. You should know I'm anything but a little dick incel, so out of here with that shit. I'm not even gonna pretend that's valid. You're with a fucking beta fucking cuck to begin with. Maybe that's your type and maybe that's why we aren't together. Have fun with that. So now the nice guy kind of transformation has happened. Went from simping, putting her on a pedestal, confessing her love, to kind of trying something ballsy, to just having a full-on incel meltdown, because now it's finally hitting him that this girl is never going to be interested in him, right? Because he's just extremely repulsive, not physically, but just the way he's been behaving and emotionally, right? And so she's like, look, I don't know if you're going through something right now, but this is way too much. Yeah, you probably should have cut him off like ages ago. And so she sends him a message, which is still relatively sweet. She's like, I say one thing that hurts your feelings and you go off. That is incel behavior. Maybe I shouldn't have called you that, but I was getting those vibes. I always valued you as a friend, so it sucks that you were mad just because I don't want to be with you. And that's what happens with every nice guy. And ladies, again, if you have a guy who's like this, who's like trying to be your friend like that, just don't even entertain it. He doesn't actually want to be your friend, okay? And this is always how it ends. So he's like, I'll see you in hell. She's like, Jesus, our Reddit nice guys, that's an excellent take on a 7-year waste of my fucking time. Well, whose fault is it that you wasted 7 years of your life? You could have just shot your shot in the very beginning and then known right away. So you were just waiting around till I'd eventually date you? That's on you, man. And she's right, that is on him. Mostly. Well, how was I supposed to know? You're only interested in half men. She's like, oofy, I spent 7 years just waiting for you to notice the difference, but I guess I bet on the wrong fucking horse. I'm over you. That's why I asked if you need a visual definition of the word endowed, because I bet you're never going to get that with the life you choose to fucking live without me. Motherfucker, I grew this fucking dick for you, you ungrateful clod. I grew this dick for you. How do you grow your dick for a person? Like, what did he do? He put it in like a fucking, in a pot and put some dirt on it and watered it, and like, I don't even know what this means. I refuse to believe that these messages aren't satire, she says. This entire relationship is satire, a fucking joke. My interest in you is a fucking joke. This is the first time I want to show someone my dick because I hate them. Fucking brilliant. Or nice guys, these nuts. So I think enough time has passed, and I genuinely just want to know if you had any remorse for the shit you said to me, or is it true you truly believe it was all valid, right? And then he responds like basically at 7 a.m. Let's find out if you're seeing the hat man first. She doesn't respond, and within 2 hours, he starts flipping out again. I'm over you. You're wasting your time. Okay, I think he means his time. And then he's like, I still mean this. If you need clarification, don't even bother asking me for nudes. I have a girlfriend. Right, let me know in the chat if you guys believe in this girlfriend, because if you do, I have a bridge to fucking sell you, right? And yeah, like, because this girl was gonna ask for his nudes, like, yeah, you really showed her, buddy, so she's like, and she just goes off on him here. I mean, this is long, but dude, what's wrong with you? We were friends for almost a decade. Then you come out and admit that you didn't even see me as a person the whole time. You were just waiting around to sleep with me and got pissed when you realized it was never going to happen. I actually valued our friendship, and that's why I messaged you this last time, to see if you were just going through something or if you really embrace this gross, chronically online 4chan dweller persona. And if you still don't get it because you think that somehow telling me about your dick size or telling me you have a girlfriend is going to hurt me in some way, but I'm in a happy relationship and was just checking in on someone I used to call my friend. I really hope you get some help, dude. And I also really hope you don't treat your girlfriend like this when you guys break up, because I genuinely would not feel safe or alone in a room with you for 5 minutes after all this. Yeah, he doesn't actually have a girlfriend. I don't know if that's hard to imagine. So this guy had a full-on mental breakdown and wasted 7 years of his life, all because he followed an incorrect dating strategy. Had he known just a little bit about pickup and shot his shot when he first met this girl, worst case scenario would have been that he would have saved 7 years of his life and not been publicly humiliated on the internet. But best case scenario is he would have had a much better shot with this girl, because women respect a guy who has balls and isn't afraid to take social risks. What they don't respect are guys who are kind of pussies and who pretend like they just want to be friends even though they have ulterior motives like this. That massively turns women off. All right, so let me guys know in the comment what's been your worst friend zone experience story, and share this video with a friend who needs it.